Hey friends, welcome to this free training that I am putting on to help you be able to understand how to put together your perfect system in your business so that you are making business feel seamless, feel easy for once, and you can finally experience that freedom that you've been trying to get since day one of your business. This is going to be broken down into two trainings because when I originally tried to edit this, the training went on way longer than I thought, and IGTV will not let me go past 10 minutes. So this is going to be part one, where I'm going to explain to you what is currently going on in the business space and why it's broken for so many entrepreneurs and causing so much burnout all across the board, and two, how we can create and manufacture the perfect system for you and what that can look like. Cool? Cool. So first things first, let's talk about just like the common stresses, right? I've been talking about this for a few weeks on end, but if you feel like business is really hard for you, like everyone's talking about how easy it is, and you kind of get like a little twinge of annoyance because you know that business feels like hard work. Like it feels sometimes like you're dragging your business behind you and you're just trying to power through, like army crawl through with your passion alone, because you know the impact that you can have on your clientele. You know how big your business can be because you know what you have is important for people to know. But for some reason, like it feels like your business is more like dead weight as opposed to being able to evolve and grow and eventually be able to evolve beyond you and be able to create that freedom that you're wanting. So this is what's currently going on. I made diagrams for you guys because, trying to make this easy for y'all. So we have the current business model that a lot of people are popularizing, where it's like the passion-based type thing, where people are saying like, as long as you have passion, you can build a business. Like all you need is passion and time. In my 397 course, no tea, no shade, but it can feel like everything stems from your passion. And if you're somebody who is led by that, who is heart-centered, you identify as somebody who moves forward in life with passion, this can be really appealing because you're like, cool, like I have a lot of passion, like I can carry this load. But at some point, you are going to feel tired. You're going to get burnt out, and you're wondering why, after all of this work and you pushing and pushing and pushing, when you finally need to rest, your business isn't stepping up. Like, why isn't your business doing what you intended it to do? You've done all this work. Why isn't it working? This is why. So I'm going to break this down really quickly. Passion-led businesses are always going to fall into a pit of plateauing. So you're going to get to that point where you get tired, and because your business has only been fueled with one singular investment, passion, it's going to stop the moment that you stop. So what does this look like? So look at this pretty little heart here, and it is the mastermind of all these things. The passion is what's creating the content creation. It's building the connections. It's launching. It's onboarding. It's lead generating. It's directing the business. It's taking care of sales. And on top of all of that, you're also trying to find space to be able to give some of your heart to your friends and family, to other interests, because more than likely, if you're someone who's heart-centered, you have other interests and other ideas that you want to, pursue. And when you are only focused on business, it's really hard to give much to this. Your romantic relationships, if you have a partner, if you're wanting to pursue somebody, it's really difficult when your entire life is the business. Like I made a analogy, I think a few months back, where it's kind of like a 90s rom-com stereotype of just like the male lead who is the workaholic, doesn't know anything but work until, Julia Roberts or Meg Ryan comes into their life, and then all of a sudden life has more meaning. That's kind of where you're at. You're pre-Julia Roberts, pre-Meg Ryan. So what we want to do instead, or actually before I get into that, what happens here and the reason why burnout happens and the reason why there's no progress in your business when you're only told passion, 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 and to do these strategies that work for a time, is you get tired, y'all. Everything that focuses only on you doing something and you doing the work eventually is going to expire. So if you can see here, I have these little lines that connect between the arrow and the heart. So the moment that you need rest, the moment that you're like, nah, I need to take a break from writing content, and you close that off, content creation stops going. No content's being put out. Nope, you're not on your stories. People move on, and you're like, crap, I got to keep going because if I don't, people aren't going to see me. The moment that you take a rest from building connections, so you're like, you know what, I'm an introvert, I need time to refuel, I need time to energize, no more connections are being made. People are losing interest in you because you're not investing in them, and they haven't had any reason to invest with you other than you personally talking to them. That stops. Onboarding, unless you're manually onboarding people, Nobody gets onboarded. Next thing you know, you're rushing to try and get these people onboarded just because you took a day off break. And then you come back and you have 3-5 people who are like, hey, yeah, we're ready to do this thing. Same thing can be replicated in lead generation, biz direction, and sales. The moment you take a break, they don't happen. And this is what is being popularized in many different forms in our current business environment, is this place of you can get far and you can get started as long as you have passion, but in accidentally leading everything with passion and doing everything with passion and making everything rely on your passion, you have built yourself a house with you being the foundation, just you, nothing else. And the moment you get tired and you put your arms down, the whole house falls. And that is incredibly demoralizing as an entrepreneur, especially somebody who's so passionate about this thing. It hurts when you get that burnout and you hit that burnout. If you feel that and you've been there before, let me know in the comments if you are there currently. If you're somebody who's new and you're like, I don't even know about any of this stuff, but I can see myself doing that, let me know below. But that is where my clients usually find me, and that's where I was back in February 2019. I was on a vacation in Thailand. I was still working. I was still checking my emails, writing content, because I could not stop, because as soon as I stopped, my business would fail. And it was the most stressful vacation ever. Like, I loved Thailand, but I'd love to go back because I really didn't get to experience it and love it as much as I wanted to, because I was so worried about my business. And that was really the moment where I was like, something needs to change. something needs to give, because the way business is going right now, I'm not making any progress in my business, but I am working twice as hard. Like, to the point where I was having to take on freelance jobs because I was trying to make this business work with models that weren't working. So the reason why this doesn't work is because passion is not enough to sustain a business. You need something that's going to take care of all these other things that you don't want to be doing day in and day out, so that you have space to take care of the things that you actually do care about. The way that we do this is something that I created, which is the heart-centered, systemized business model. Now, if you've been following me for a bit, you might have seen something similar to this in my posts. This is my process that I do with my clients to help them have space in their business, have space for their passion, but also make sure that their business is working for them so that they're able to take vacations and not have to worry about work emails. Got it? Cool. So let's just break this down really quickly. So a heart-centered, systemized business model is one where your heart, your passion, is given space for the things that it wants to do. So if you want to focus on vision, like that's just what really feels called to you, or if you're really called to the experience of the customer, or you're really called to the quality of the product, whatever it might be, you make space for that. You make space to play and experiment and see what works and what doesn't work so that you're able to tweak. You make space for your friends and your family and your romantic interests. Make space for all of that while your business is still working. So you have a container here, and then the intent. So the passionate intent, the heart intent, is then filtered out to your systems. So I explain this in a way where your heart, just like in your body, is the central part. It's the thing that has the intention that then spreads out through the rest of your body. But it's not your heart that's moving your arm, It's not the heart that's moving the leg. It is muscles. Muscles are doing that with the intent of the heart, like flooding and, giving it life. Then the muscle is doing the actual action and work. Somebody who is in biology, don't come at me if that's not the exact terminology of how the body works. But the same thing works with your business. So your heart is giving intention to the muscle of your business, which is your systems. So instead of you constantly having to create content, if that's not something that you feel joy in, like you're not naturally a content creator, all of a sudden we can do content repurposing. So then all of a sudden that content now has a longer shelf life, and you're no longer having to write every single day, day in and day out. You have a team, so if you don't want to do all the admin stuff, if you don't want to do all the marketing stuff, if you're somebody who's like, I just want to focus on the product and the people who have the product, then you have a team who take care of everything else. If you want to work, or if you don't want to have to constantly be getting clients day in and day out and have to work every day to find new clients, you can do client renewals so that you're able to create a product suite where you have a whole bunch of clients who are renewing with you, so you don't have to constantly be finding new clients, and leads to consistent sales. Speaking of sales, you have an automated sales process. So You know the experience you want people to have through this little heart container that you created. You can think it through, and then you can filter it down to where people can experience you and your passion automated every single time, no matter when they are experiencing it, without you having to be there personally to walk them through it. Do you see what we're creating here? So instead of you having to take care of everything, your system takes care of everything. And this is how we create growth. This is how we're able to grow your business, because you're no longer having to drag your business like it's dead meat. It's all of a sudden now being able to walk alongside you. You can grow it, you can nurture it. And then when you need to take a break, it can keep going. That is how business is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be a cog in your business. You're meant to be the captain of the ship. You're the one who's steering it in the direction of where it's meant to go and making sure it has what it needs so that it continues to grow in the way that you want it to the place that you envision. This is also how we're able to make sure that the foundation is solid without you having to be the person specifically being the foundation. So you're able to actually build a business that has freedom as a fundamental pillar in it. So you have built freedom into your business from the get-go. Or if you're somebody who's more experienced, which is the people that I work with, then we're able to build freedom into your current business model so that you're able to have that space and your business is able to progress better. All right? That is the end of part 1. What we're going to be talking about in part 2, which should be coming out like in the next hour or 2, is explaining, okay, so we want this, but not every single system is going to look like this. This one actually just happens to be mine. This is what I do in my business. But the great thing about systems, like the double-edged sword about systems, is there's no preset one for every single person. Every person's going to have their uniquely aligned system that they need to build to make sure that it goes to the vision that they want. We can't take on somebody else's system because that system wasn't built in mind for our vision. So how do we do that? We do that by understanding one thing, and that is perspective. So we are going to be going through my 3 lenses of entrepreneurship, which is my framework that I created to help you in understanding your perspective as an entrepreneur so that you can create your perfectly aligned system. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it. I will see you guys in the next couple of hours. Until then, let me know down below what you think about the heart-centered systemized business model, where you feel like you're putting a lot of your energy in the current business model, and then I'll see you guys in the next training.